Well, hello, everybody. I am Spegtacular, the Silverstacular, and I'm here with...
Greetings, members, one and all. This is Salivate Metal.
That's awesome. The first time our introductions have combined.
Yes, indeed.
So we're here with the Metals Experience. This is just our two channels working together to talk about precious metals, coins, things going on that's affecting prices of both, really. And just two guys just having some fun, you know, with one another and the community. So, Sal, thanks again for doing this. I think that our first one we had was hugely popular, at least, you know, minorly popular. People that actually watched it were very impressed by it. Did you get that same reaction?
Yes, I did. And thanks for everyone for taking the time to check it out. It is nice to collaborate with a respected member of the community here, Spegtacular, and it's quite an honor. And it's fun just to kind of have a nice free-flowing discussion on the precious metal markets and about coins and gold and silver, precious metals, and all metals of all sorts. It's fun.
Absolutely. Now, I see some stuff on your table, and I want to say that for people that make videos, we probably know this, how this works, but when we're doing props for our videos, there's a reason why we put particular things down on the table. Usually. Sal, do you have a reason why these certain particular items are on your table?
I just put my hand in the box and grabbed what I could because I was late getting here. How's that for Deep Thoughts by Jack Candy?
Just but it is a reason, right?
Put the hand in the box and whatever comes out is there. No, there was some slight thought given to it. This particular piece here is important to me because this is the very first piece of silver that I've ever poured in my whole entire life. Yes, indeed. And I have a video that teases this particular piece. It's called Self-Poured Bullionaire. Yes, indeed, a little play on words there. But yeah, it's a special place in my heart because it's the first piece of poured silver I've ever had. And then this is a Geiger 100-gram bar. Love these Geiger bars. And this one is just really cool. It's a 100-grammer, and it's just I like it thick. I like that it's struck. It has a reeded edge. And so there's that. You'll notice there's a theme here. They're all pretty thick. I like my silver thick. I am down with the thickness. And here is a 1.5 ounce silver maple. I was all over these when they came out in 2015. And that's one I just kind of like to fondle every now and then. And then this is came with my first order from Intaglio Mint. And it's a little bit kind of crazy here, but this is a 2 ounce high relief Mercury dime or Winged Liberty dime. And just, it's a beautiful piece. And actually I found out from the owner that this is actually kind of rare because they don't put the denomination on these anymore. They're technically not supposed to because it's not a coin. It's not a United States Mint coin. So if you have one of these that says 1 dime on them, I think there's relatively limited mintage on that. And then I've got the dragon, the red dragon of Wales. I just thought this is a cool Queen's Beast coin. So these are just pieces of silver that I like to play with. So yes, indeed.
I like that. The poured silver that you have, you hand poured that yourself.
Yes.
Isn't it a fascinating process? I think that anybody that likes silver and gold even, you should try to pour some. I mean, find somebody locally that has the ability if you don't want to buy all the stuff for your garage. But I don't know if we can see this, but here's a little piece that I poured myself. And man, I just love doing it. I love the process. I love how it can ripple and the effects that you can get from it. And it's like a little snowflake every single time because you just don't know how it's going to end up. It's just so amazing.
That is really cool. Yeah, I like that. That's a neat piece there. How many ounces is that?
This one is, I think, 4.2. This is a hefty.
Yeah, that is hefty. Wow.
Yep. And I know you like the thickness, and I know my camera is going to be weird because I have this funny background. I really don't have that giant Spegtacular thing behind me in real life, but here's a nice thick Scottsdale piece.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Since you're down with the thickness.
I am indeed.
Hey, I want to say congratulations to you for stacking all these precious metals that you've been doing, coin collecting, because sadly what's going on in the world has caused your stack to be worth quite a bit today. Gold went over $2,000 today.
And you know what? And that's just it. We get all excited and giddy when the price goes up. But for reasons like this, we have to keep things in perspective. War is something that occurs, and it can cause the prices to move up and markets to move down. And so for those of us who stack precious metals, hey, we can be proud, but it's a somber time, because we hate to see the prices go up when people are being killed and when there's turmoil in the world. And take that to the extension of people saying, well, hey, silver is going to go to the moon, gold is going to go to the moon. But if silver goes to where some people say it's going to go, that means we're in a world of hurt if it gets to $100 an ounce or $1,000 an ounce, like some people think. So perspective is everything. And I know I've been remiss on really emphasizing that point in some of the videos, because yes, we do talk about what does affect the markets, and war is one of those things, geopolitical concerns. And but I pray for the victims of this, and I pray for even the Russian soldiers who really, some of them don't know exactly what's going on, and they're being sent to fight. And I pray for the Russian people, and it's just a horrible situation overall. But yes, this is why we stack for times like this, when there's economic instability in the world. So, indeed, and you as well. You've done well, and holding precious metals is turning out to be a good thing, because I'm not anti cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin. However, we've seen a lot of volatility there, and the prices of it dropping as well, and kind of erratic. Gold, I see it as the most stable of the precious metals. And it's done very, very well, over $2,000 an ounce. Crazy.
And we don't want to get very political, and not because we just hate doing it, but because we really want to focus on many topics. We don't just want to stay on the same topic, but it is something that changes the price of metal. So that's why we're hinting on it, and that's the reason why gold is where it is today, over 2,000, because there's just so much uncertainty. We've seen a little while ago now that the last big increases and decreases that were due to the pandemic and riots that were going on. The uncertainty causes metal prices to fluctuate usually greatly. And that's what we're seeing right now. And I personally feel, Sal, this is just me, doing some fortune telling just for fun. Nobody go out there and spend everything they have. But I just think that it's going to go up higher than it is right now, personally. Not a whole lot higher. I don't think it's going to go to the moon, but I think we're going to see higher than 2,000. What do you think?
I think so too. And, and that's one of the things, going back to what you're talking about, I know I have a political opinion, and I express it mostly on the live streams. But when I do talk about stories like this, like that, and the pandemic, I try to present the information, how the markets react to the information. It's about psychology of the markets, and no matter how you feel about a given topic, you can't deny how the markets react to it, whether it's legit or not. And that's just a fact. That's part of what's going on. But I do think gold is going to go up for sure. And I've already made 2 prediction videos that have come true. The second one was quicker than I thought. And some say, well, I should do another one. But, I don't know if I will or not. I'll have to think about it. But I do think it's going to go up more. I did a live stream last night when the markets opened up, when I got close to touching that $2,000 an ounce, and took a poll. Over 500 people participated in that poll. And most thought it was going to be between 2,000 and 2,500. And that's kind of where I'm at too. I'm thinking probably it's going to be somewhere around there. What are your feelings?
Yeah, I can see that. I think 2,500 is a little bit high from where I believe it'll go. I think we're under 2,200 is where I think that it's going to peak. It's going to drop down eventually, and then kind of with the future, it's gonna go beyond the 2,500 that your audience predicted, I think, eventually. But it's going to be a slower process. But that's kind of where my head is. I kind of tend to take the lesser mount. I don't want to do the shoot the moon thing, but
right, same.
Just like you said, I'd love to see 2,500, but then I'll hate it at the same time. And because I know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and also I got to still buy it when it's 2,500. Exactly. I want to buy it when it's nice and cheap.
Yeah, you and I are in buying mode, and it hurts to buy at these prices, but people who need to sell, it's a great time to sell if they need to sell. And I distinct that, but from wanting to sell, because in my feeling, holding bullion is about, bullion itself that doesn't really have a numismatic value or a premium above the spot price for collector reasons. I advise folks just to hold on to it through these times, because you don't know where the markets are going to go, and think of it as a last resort, a savings of last resort. That's stacking for the long haul really means long haul. Long haul, in my view, is not 1 year or even 2 years. To me, it's 10 plus years. It depends on where you're at when you go to stack. I've had people on my channel who are brand new to stacking and they just retired. It's never too late to start, but you have to look at the end game and what that end game looks like for you and your own personal situation. For some people, it's generational wealth transfer. In other words, they'll take their silver and gold and pass it on to the next generation, which I think is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a lifetime investment for a lot of people, and that's kind of like my plan now. But plans change if something crazy goes on and you need to have it. What I like about silver, gold, is that it's versatile in like its uses. So you got the industrial aspect of it. You have what we're kind of going through now, which is like the unknown. And then, maybe with the unknown, you get into a situation where we're almost like how Russia is now, where the ruble has gone down to almost, just an insignificant amount. Maybe you have some silver and gold. Now you can start bartering with that stuff. It can become that form of, currency, really. And that's why I like it, because it's kind of versatile. It's interesting to me that way.
There may come a day where people will reach into their wallets and pick out one of these, the gold backs, and there may even be a silverback. In fact, there are places that you can buy these notes, these foil notes. There's some. Here you go. You've got some too. There you go. You've got the wallet. And
stinking camera. I can't show it. There it goes.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. And, and these are meant to be spent. They're not really meant. I mean, yes, you can collect them. And I think it's a neat thing to collect. But any amount of these, if a business will accept them, I think we may see more of that in the coming years, seeing where things are going.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second, because you mentioned that Intaglio Mint 2-ounce piece, right? 2-ounce piece that you have there.
Yes.
And there was a denomination on there, and that's illegal, basically.
Right.
You can't be doing that. And we saw that with the Liberty dollar. Do you have any information on the Liberty dollars?
Yeah, hold on 1 second here. Let me see. I might even have one.
You got one. And there was some confusion with the gold backs. It was going to be a similar thing to the Liberty dollars, but that's why they're not calling it dollars at all. They're not using that word. They're calling it gold back. It's like its own special thing.
That's right. This is the Liberty dollar. And you'll notice it doesn't say "in God we trust." It says "trust in God." It doesn't say United States of America. It says USA. It does have a milk spot though. But this,
that's how you know it's real.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you know it's real. This is the Liberty dollar, created by von Noss. I forget his Bernard von Noss, I think is his name. And this one I bought in 2005, before the big run up on silver. The run up on silver, and that when silver was trading around $6, $7, $8 an ounce. And so what you could do is you could go to what's known as a Liberty Associate. And there was some in my local area. You look up this website, you can find these affiliates, associates, what they're called, and you can buy from them these dollars, these Liberty dollars. And this one was for $10. And I remember when silver went to $10, it went to $10, and then it went to $11. I called my Liberty associate and I said, "Hey, I want to buy some more of these Liberty dollars." And he was like, "Oh, okay, that'll be $15. Well, it says $10 on it. They're supposed to be redeemable for the price of the for the denomination on there." That was the whole idea. But silver went up in price. This same year, they came with the $20 Liberty dollar, which would cost you $20, and the price of silver was trading for about $11, $12 an ounce. You were paying $8 premium on it. It was crazy. But anyways, but this failed because Bernard von Noss was creating these things under the organization called NORFED, which is a national organization for the repeal of the Federal Reserve Act. And that very Federal Reserve that essentially creates this dollar and devalues it every year, he puts it on his coins or on his rounds and sells it and gets in trouble with the feds. If it were me, I would and even at the time I was thinking, why would you do that? Why would you even want to be associated with with something you want to repeal? You know what I mean? And so I knew it was a bad idea, especially knowing that the price of silver is going to go up, making these obsolete. And I think this one is actually worth a little bit of money because the $10 Liberty dollars aren't quite as, I don't know what the mintage are on these, but they're actually very nice coins. But the other thing that the feds said is it looked too much like a dollar. It doesn't look anything like any of our coins, though. There's just no.
It looks professional. It's not minted by our government. It doesn't have a professional look to it. So somebody who doesn't know the new coins coming out or whatever, they might be like, "Oh, this is the new government currency," potentially.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they would think that it would be something new from the government, but yes, indeed, and that was the whole problem. It has this look that it could be potentially this government issued thing, but it does have a website. And it's an organization. It's not a .gov. It has a phone number on there. So yes, and it also has, if you look here, there's a little rich copyright or symbol there. And the government doesn't have anything that's copywritten that I know of. So that gives you a hint that it's a privately issued piece. But nonetheless, yes, I think where they really got in trouble was using that dollar sign.
Calling it a dollar for sure was the nail in the coffin. And just to clarify too, it's not illegal for Sal to have this thing. It'd be illegal for him to go to somewhere and say, "Hey, this is worth $10." See, even though it's worth more than that because it is silver. That's where the legality now is the issue with these pieces. But collectors can grab these all day.
Yep, that's right. And just another side note. When he was arrested, I think in 2008, they actually confiscated a whole bunch of these. I mean, I don't know how many millions of them or something like that. I don't know, maybe it wasn't millions, but I know thousands of them. And I think they recently were released, if I'm not mistaken, because I think he's out of jail now. And he actually has this new, I did a video on it recently. He's got a new initiative. It's a digital Liberty dollar, which is kind of interesting. He's kind of moving away. It's kind of like a crypto thing or whatever.
I think he should stop the shenanigans and just work with the Goldback company.
There you go. Exactly. I agree. Yep.
We talked about crypto for a second. I don't want to upset the crypto people because I do actually invest a little bit in crypto too. With the prices kind of declining as of a couple months back now, it's just kind of been seeming kind of, bearish to me. I kind of stalled. I stalled on the cryptos. And I will say that my investment of around $1,400, it's only worth $500 now, Sal. I didn't sell a single one. I've just been watching it go down and down and down. And my buddies are like, "What are you going to do? Are you going to sell it?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to watch that go to zero if it happens to. Or maybe on the reverse, maybe cryptos become popular again and it goes up. But it's crazy to see that go to, less than half pretty quickly too.
If it does go to zero, you'll have quite a story to tell on that, won't you? I mean,
I'll have the history of my my investment, the chart showing me the whole way down.
Which this will never do. Silver and gold will never go to zero, no matter what. And people kind of balk at that. Well, they say, well, neither will zinc or copper. But there's a difference because silver and gold have been treasured and utilized for money for thousands of years. And even though silver is
precious metals.
Yeah, that's why they're called precious metals, indeed.
Do you have, I know you have a rhodium bar. Do you have, you have palladium? You have platinum?
Yes, sir.
You ever get into some iridium?
I would love to get some iridium. There's another guy on YouTube that frequents the live shows and the comments named Coins A to Z, and he's got an iridium ounce. You can't get those. I have all the metals that you can get in bullion form. In other words, copper, silver, gold, palladium, platinum, and rhodium. But iridium is not in a bullion form. In other words, there's no
coin.
No coin or bar that's tied to any kind of a bullion company. Like Baird is the one that makes the rhodium bars. PAMP started to make them for a while too. I wish I would have gotten one of those. But iridium is the densest metal out there. It's even more dense than my personality. And I would love to get an ounce of iridium. It's pretty pricey, but I don't think it's as expensive as palladium.
Now, I thought that osmium was the densest metal.
There's a debate about that. there's a debate. They're very, 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 and did I say very close in density. I think some say that iridium is slightly more dense than osmium. Osmium in certain forms can be hazardous to your health. So I just, I don't know if it's like, if it means if it's in powder form or a certain, there's ways that osmium can be a little bit dangerous to have. But I don't know what form that is. So I just, well, you know what, iridium. I'm looking for iridium.
I would like to have like an ounce of both, and that would be cool to have an ounce of both and try to just, weigh it with my little, puny scale. It won't actually tell me, what the different weights are exactly, but it would be cool to have a little bit of both. But yeah, with all these kind of different metals, I have a few different just for fun, like just for, science purposes. Man, I touch them with gloves because I just don't know, you know what I mean? I don't trust them.
Yeah. Well, I've also forgot to mention that there are other metals that aren't necessarily considered precious metals that are in bullion form too, like tin, molybdenum, titanium, tantalum, and here's tungsten. Now, this is a little tungsten disc that I got with several others years ago. This one actually has a crack in it, but these little discs, this is a 1 avodoporous ounce. That's AVDP ounce. That's 28 grams as opposed to 31.1 grams. And it's very dense. I mean, it's about the density of gold, hence why you see many times, in fact, this is looks like they tried to stamp it, but they got screwed up there. You can probably see some indications. I don't know where my others are now. This just happened to have on my table. But yeah, it's a neat metal, but often you will see gold, larger gold bars and some coins with a tungsten center. Not often, but you'll see it happen from time to time. You got to be careful with that because tungsten's density is very similar to gold's.
Here's a little piece of my collection. I have it's hard to see, I know, but it's aluminum.
Oh yeah.
Like nice. I couldn't just go get a can, but it's actually like I got a few of these kind of things.
There you go. Yep, me too. That's what the form of my molybdenum is like. It's about the same density, so it's real thick like that. Yeah.
Just fun to have,
Oh yeah, it is fun. And by the way, aluminum should not be handled very much either. As you know, it kind of gets on your hands and it can cause Alzheimer's if you use it in your deodorant.
What deodorant? Oh yeah. Jesus, it's already working. Hey, speaking of, you said you just had that right there to grab. Sal and I really don't plan this stuff out. We're just two guys talking, which I think is going to be the entertainment part of the video. It's just us going to, how our minds work, just thinking about what we want to think about at the time, and two guys just talking, a lot of fun. Speaking of aluminum being,
yeah. So please don't be too picky about what we do here, okay?
Yeah, don't be picky. Have you played with gallium yet?
You know what? I was gifted some by Cyber Curtain Twitcher, and he told me it's completely safe to do, but I've not messed with it. I have it in the form of the original Salivate Metal round, and it's out of reach, but maybe I'll show that in the next episode, and maybe I'll be brave on your show and take it and fondle it.
I did a video some time back with gallium too, and I had it in my hand, and I put it in my kid's hand. I mean, according to the internet, it's safe, and the internet never lies. So, right. I went ahead and did it.
Cool, awesome.
It was amazing to play with that metal. I love that stuff.
Has an 86 degrees Fahrenheit melting point.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hey, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's go into some coins if you have some time.
Sure.
Grading companies. What's your opinion on grading companies? Are they necessary? Are they just kind of a waste? What do you think?
Well, and I probably want to do a video on this topic, especially with regards to modern coin grading. I think that coin grading is based off what's known as the Sheldon scale. And Sheldon himself created it for large cents, for grading large cents. And so it really was geared more towards that. And essentially it's been applied to everything else up to and including modern coins. And modern coins that are issued from the mint that will never circulate, that will most often all the time stay in their original packaging. They will not incur any damage outside of the original issue, other than being transported. You may see some with bag marks, but you don't really see that very often because most silver eagles come in tubes, and maybe there's a chance when you place them in the tube that they get dinged or what have you. But nonetheless, My feeling on coin grading in general, I think it is obviously, it's a huge market. No one can deny that for both modern and classic coins. Mostly it's an American-based phenomenon. You don't see it a whole lot in Europe. But when you do look at coin grading, I think there's some respect for it for classic coins, Morgans, half dollars, Benjamin Franklin halves, the pre-33 gold, even some of the ancients. You can utilize some grading there, but it's based off the Sheldon system, and I don't know that that's the best way to do it. However, I think we've now come to a point with our technology where we can utilize that technology to help grade coins, because right now it's completely subjective. It's up to the mood of the person who's reviewing the coin at the time as to whether or not it comes back a 63 or a 65. Yes, 2-point difference. And by the way, there is no AU 59. There's an AU 58 and it goes straight to MS 60. So it's a little bit strange and somewhat confusing how these grades can come out, but it is completely and wholly subjective. I've had a coin dealer friend of mine who took one of his coins. He didn't like the grade that came from NGC. He broke it out of the slab and sent it to PCGS and a grader for much higher. And these are classic coins. And so it's very subjective. And then you get into modern coin grading. And that's the area where I am definitely not a fan of modern coin grading. And I say that just as I filmed the video for unpackaging a modern graded coin. And you'll see that video sometime soon. And but I don't buy the coins for the slab. I don't buy them for the grade. And I think that modern coin grading, it's probably pretty strong for me to say it's a scam per se, but I think I'm just not a fan of it. I think it's unnecessary. What are your thoughts on it?
So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of thoughts that I have. With the modern stuff, I'm right there with you. And I've seen some very scammy things that go on. I really don't like the advanced release, which means that certain companies out there get like products from the US Mint before just regular, taxpayers like us get a chance to get involved with that coin's release. These other companies get it before us. They can get it graded and they get it called advanced release. And now people like you and I who are into coins, we go, oh my gosh, the advanced release, that's beyond, first strike and all that. I'm going to get the advanced release. And it, gathers a premium on that. And to me, that's kind of scammy. When a coin sells out from the US Mint, let's say, the first day, let's say 10,000 coins were minted, every single coin was sold out. And then, they charge extra, these coin grading companies call, first strike. That's an extra charge. Every single coin was a first strike, was it not? Because it all sold out immediately. So how can they justify some of these grades? Modern coins are always just, except for like stuff that goes into circulation, but collector's coins, it's huge right now. And it goes from the mint or, wherever, and it goes right into our hands, right from the mail, boom, into us. And what do? We just take it and put it away. We put it in the safe, we hide it over here on the shelf, whatever. It never gets touched. Meanwhile, these classic coins, these things were sometimes in saddlebags. These were in people's, pockets for a long time. These were used on gambling games, on poker tables, slot machines. It was used all over the place. And so to get coins that are in pristine condition from then, that's fascinating. And that's worthy of being graded, I think. And then real quick to talk about the technological aspect of it, we can go anywhere on Google and type in Morgan dollar grades, and you can see a list of graded Morgan dollars, or actually Morgan dollars, how they should look in each grade that's available, step by step. How a computer system can't take those images and kind of like use like a plus or minus just a little bit off of each one to determine if this coin right in front of you is a 61, a 62, 63, whatever the case may be. And then at these grading companies, after the computer says, hey, this should be a 62 in my opinion, a person can go and look at it and go, I agree, double check, that's a 62, put it in the slab. I think there's room to improve.
That's exactly what I was going to touch on, because I think that with technology we can use it. And there's something called LiDAR. light emission detection radar, and this is technology that can be utilized for coins to see the imperfections, to see the wear, and I think a computer can pretty much drive it, and then you get human confirmation afterwards, and I think that's where it should go. But sadly, I think it has been essentially, maybe corrupted is a wrong word, but it seems to have just moved into this area of subjectivity, and essentially where you are showing preference to large bullion dealers, and to me, it should be impartial. It should, I think if you as Spegtacular send one coin in for grading, it should get the same treatment as any other coins from any other individual or company or organization.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do see on the other side a really super nice coin that's graded in a slab. My eyes are drawn to it, Sal. I see that and I'm like, ooh, like that. I don't know why, but the slab does give me some eye appeal, to it. Sometimes.
Right.
And so there is that aspect where I see it and I go, wow, that has, for some reason in my mind, it's increased the value of the coin because now it's protected. It's got all the bells and whistles when it has that nice slab in a high grade, a little green sticker on there that says CAC. It's maybe psychological, but it does mess.
No, I agree. I know that certainly the way they choose those holders and everything like that, I think it gives an aura of, hey, you see an NGC holder, immediately, hey, this has got to be legit. This has got to be, and they make it attractive and that type of thing. And, I get that for sure. And honestly, it does. I like the idea of encapsulation for protecting the coins. NGC has this service called NCS, and you can get a coin like a milk spot may be tough to get rid of. I don't know how they would do that, but they can clean up a lot of stuff on coins. Whether it be hazing and the like, and the conservation and authentication, I think is absolutely impeccable and important in grading. That's part of what happens with grading. I think in a sense that should be in a way separate, and especially for the modern stuff. The modern stuff, you're not going to get. I did a video quite some time ago, and I may have to redo that one because then you get very many views. But I think it's one of my probably my biggest complaints about coin grading, about a two MS70. Well, one was a PF70, one was an MS70, and I called them and I talked to the guy who was in charge of modern coins at the time and said, hey, these are not 70s. And apparently their guarantee is if we grade them wrong, we will replace the coin with the proper grade. And I said, hey, will you honor this? And he said, no, because these are how they came from the mint. Any imperfections you see there were from the mint. And I'm like, well, then that means every single US mint coin would come back a 70. And he just had no response to that. But it was crazy. It was yeah. After that, I was like, and that was long before I started the YouTube channel, by the way. But I told the story early on my YouTube journey here, and that soured me in modern coin grading. And again, I say this because maybe the time that this interview is released on Spegtacular's channel, I'll have the video where I actually unpackage an MS70 NGC coin. So, but so I hope you will see the nuance in that. I didn't buy it for the grade. I guarantee you that. When you see that I'm unpackaging, you'll know why. But regardless, I don't. And there's always this thing, because I've seen plenty of graded coins at coin shows. I'm sure you have too, Speg, where you see one MS63 coin. It's like, what? It's a little bit, I don't know. There's some bag marks here or there. And then you see an MS61 coin. That looks a lot nicer. So the old adage, buy the coin, not the slab.
Exactly. I know you got to go, so we'll say our goodbyes here in a minute. But I do want to say to people that are, learning about your channel, my channel, maybe they got into the channels a little bit late, started subbing, not maybe, I don't know, years ago, a couple months ago, whatever the case may be. We have a lot of videos on our channel. And sometimes when you look at our video list, those videos, they're down at the bottom somewhere, they're old videos, but there's a lot of information there. And YouTube does a very poor job at, getting those old videos back into circulation. In fact, they just kind of get lost. But it might be a good idea for any of your favorite channels, not just Sal's and mine, but go to your favorite channel and scroll way down that list and look at some early videos, if not just for fun, to see where their journey started and learn a little bit of history about, your favorite YouTuber out there. It would probably, benefit you to know a little bit more about them, and definitely help them out to move those videos that are old but still educational.
And here's another piece of advice too. And that is, if there's a particular topic that you would think, oh, Sal, you should cover this, or Speg, you should cover that. More than likely, we probably have. So if you go to the main channel page and scroll all the way to the right, you will see a search function. And that search function is to search all the content on their channel. So in other words, if you go to my channel and you want to know, hey, has Sal ever talked about palladium? Well, yes, I have. Scroll to the right, type in palladium. You'll see a whole list of videos there. There's also playlists. And Speg, I don't know if you have playlists. You probably do. But I have playlists too of some pretty interesting stuff. One playlist I'm particularly proud of is my scammer playlist. I love to mess with scammers, so I have a whole playlist of those. Because people said, "Hey, you should make a playlist of these." Well, hey, guess what? I do. You just look at the playlist. So yeah, that's another way too, because especially if we've been on here for a while, we have a lot of videos. I know I probably overproduce, but more than likely we probably covered the topic if you're interested about it.
I think you have a couple thousand videos. I think I have a few hundred. So there's a lot of videos out there. It's a lot of work.
Indeed.
Well, Sal, listen, once again, man, this has been a lot of fun. Greatly appreciated the metals experience. I want to thank you for coming on, and we'll just chit chat, man. It's two guys doing this. As long as people find some entertainment or some use out of this, I'd like to keep it going, because I do find it useful for me. And if I find it useful for me, I feel like somebody else out there has to get some benefit from it too. So any parting words, Sal, before we go?
No, I just want to leave you with this little tagline that I always say at the end of my videos, and I think that the Spegtacular will concur with me as well. It's more than just a phrase, but a multitude of gratitude means that we really appreciate you guys taking your time to watch, and we do hope you get value out of it, maybe some entertainment as well. So a multitude of gratitude to all of you for taking the time to watch Spegtacular's channel and mine.
Absolutely. I try very hard on my channel. I know Sal tries very hard. We genuinely want this, people to come here and hang out and have a good time, a good, safe time. But yeah, thanks so much again, Sal. And thanks for everybody watching. Take the time to comment. If you're on my channel, of course, go out and check out Sal's channel. If you, for some reason, don't know about him, he does a lot of good things. He has a very fun, live stream that he does every few days, and it's so much fun to go over there and just hang out with the community and just chit chat, or just talk and hear him talk to scammers and have fun with them. So thanks again, Sal, and let's do it again sometime.
Will do. Thank you, sir. Definitely.
Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.